So I'm sure if you are invested in Sofi stock, then you must be feeling the pain. This was probably the most painful time for the stockholders as we all were expecting a good run, especially after the earnings. The funny thing is, I have noticed more and more articles on how the company is overvalued and how all the insiders are selling out. If you just look 2 weeks ago, you will see articles like why we should invest in this fintech and why this is the best choice. So really, what changed in last 2 weeks other than the stock price? I saw an article talking about why getting the naming rights to the stadium is probably the worst thing because anyone who has done in the past, the company has gone bust because the management gets too focused on marketing than delivering product and services to members. It's funny to see how quickly these new reports change to get more and more views. You know what sells in the media. It's fear more than anything else. So as shareholders, and especially if you bought after the earnings, you must be hurting and questioning yourself if you did the right thing. So let me share some data to show you the other side of things. So for a second, forget about Sofi and let's talk about other fintech. I will only take the measure of last few days. I actually shared this data on our YouTube community tab so you can go and check out there. Lending Club, which is considered as a direct competitor of Sofi, dropped 13% in the last 5 days. Upstart is another competitor, dropped 16%. Square, which is a $97 billion market cap company, dropped 11%. And PayPal, which is a little different but still a fintech, dropped 11% in the last 5 days. And Affirm, which is a different industry but still a fintech, dropped 18%. So let's talk about Sofi, which dropped 18% in the last few days. Looks like all these fintechs are singing the same tune and even the entire market is singing the same tune. The market is going through a phase where certain sectors correct and this is healthy for long-term gains. Now with that said, let me show you what some other institutions are doing to take advantage of this fear. This is a data from, I would say, November 19th to November 22nd. More than 4 million shares are bought by these institutions. Better yet, let me show you how these institutions sold the shares. Let's take a look at the major sale. So I'm going to talk about the sale first. So these are the 3 sales that happened between that time period that I just mentioned, where Redrow, Silver Lake, and Qatar Investment sold about 19.8%, 19.11%, and 19.11% shares in Sofi. This is all a part of that 50 million share offering. This is all that has gone out of Sofi in that time period. Now let me show you how many institutions have purchased the share with the recent drop. So this is a data that basically happened between 19th of November and 22nd of November. And as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 institutional investors increased their holding of Sofi share. Now this is pretty exciting. Now this could be a part of that they were recently added to an index. That could be a part that they have to buy some shares. But majority of them bought about close to 10% of Sofi or increase the position by 10%, which is of course a very, I would say, aggressive move by these institutions. Along with that, one of the analysts who was really conservative on this stock have changed their rating. Morningstar Analyst had a hold rating on this stock with a price target of about $20.50. And then they changed their rating to buy from hold while maintaining the price target. This shows that the stock is just being sold on the news and nothing has really changed fundamentally. Right here, as you can see, this is from before the earnings. This is from after the earnings, and this is now. So I took all 3 measures to show you how and what has changed. So if you can see over here, Morningstar had a hold rating and a $20 and $50 price target, so 20.50. The price target was given on October 11th. Then after the earnings, Morningstar came back and they basically had the same rating as before, which is hold right here and a hold, but they upped the price target to $22, which was on November 11th. Now with the recent drop, Morningstar right here has actually changed their rating on 11/23 with a buy rating and a price target of $22. Moreover, the stock is more attractive now to the institutional investors, which is even more a bullish sign because of the recent price drop. So now they're saying, okay, Morningstar came back and they gave a $22, which is the same price target after the earning, but a buy rating from a hold rating because the stock was going too high for them at this price. Along with that, if you pay attention, the other analyst, for example, Credit Suisse right here was $16.50 price target and a neutral rating. Right here, if you see Credit Suisse, neutral rating still sell, but a price target of $19, which was given on November 16. So all the analysts are coming back and they're revising their price target for a higher price because they see the potential in the stock. And they're not even looking at bank charter as a catalyst. They are basically just revising their price target on the catalyst, because once the bank charter hits, they will come back and then they will revise the price targets one more time. In my previous video, I talked about how the market crash is a direct opportunity to build your wealth and how it's a chain reaction and how you can measure the volatility. If you have not watched that video, then I highly recommend watching it, as it does paint a different picture of the crash in the market. And if you enjoy content like this, then give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And if you would like to take this conversation further, then consider joining our Discord, where we have many conversations like this. And sometimes you will get to hear details which we can easily miss because we are not constantly watching all the news media all the time. Now let's take a quick look at the chart to see where we are right now and how the stock has really respected Fibonacci levels so far. Now this is the same chart that I have shared in my previous videos with just updated prices. So I have not changed the Fibonacci level, and you can see the stock is bouncing very well off of 38.2% right here. So this is 38.2% level, and right here is the price. As soon as it got close to the 38.2% level, it kind of bounced back up, which has been happening lately. So it's really respecting that price level. Now what we see over here, right after the earnings, when we reached that all-time high of about $25, we have actually lost a lot of value since then. And that's why these analysts are coming and saying this stock is a buy at this level, because they could easily see the price touch back to 25 level in the short term. Okay, so no matter how many videos we can make with all the information we could provide, we all feel bad when our favorite stock drops. And with slew of negative articles pop up in just 2 days of stock being down, insider buying, option granting, insider selling will continue to go on, as this is a new company, and we will have many times when the stock will hit the new all-time high, there will be selling involved, or when stock passes a certain milestone, then selling will take place. That does not mean that the company is no longer investable and has failed in delivering goods and services. I have few more updates which I will be sharing in my next video on Sofi that has more and more details on what's going on with the stock, and of course we all will be watching what market brings us tomorrow. If you like the video, then consider subscribing and join our Patreon, where we talk about this and much more. Links are in the description. As always, an absolute pleasure to share all of this with you. Until next time, you all have a sparkling day.